Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of December, but listen, it's for Friday forecast. There's nothing we can do about it. The days are all over the place, the games are all over the place, and we have to move everything around to suit. We did. The Premier League just won't play our game. We have to play theirs, apparently. With me tonight is Grizz, is Joe, and the return of Matt, who's decided to come back a couple of time zones and be able to come on and do a podcast. He has a massive tumbler of red wine in front of him, so anything could happen in the next hour or so. But as you know, the Friday forecast, how it works, we have got 10 games in the Premier League on Boxing Day and the 27th. We're going to look at about 6 of them in a little bit of detail, forward some quick predictions, and of course at the end we'll all try to pick 3 goal scorers for the weekend. Barry Devaney has declared that Matt is alive, and Dan J said it's true, he's back. Yeah, he is back. For the festive season, you may see a little bit more of him, unless he just drinks way too much and is unconscious for most of it.
I can't get the smile off my face. Matt, how you been? Ask him how
Matt, how are you, Matt?
We talk every day, so I'm all good, mate. It's good to be back in the UK. Even though it's a bit mad at the moment. But
yeah, when'd you get back?
Saturday.
When you fucking off?
It's Monday.
Oh, great.
But I'll do some more pods with the time zone. Don't worry.
Yeah, if we let you in.
Okay. Well, if you're here on Sunday night, you can come onto the Fatback 4. How does that sound?
Do you remember that, Matt? Do you remember that, Matt?
Oh no, I'm pissed on Sunday. I'm out.
Oh,
next week.
Yeah, week off for Matt. But listen, Matt has just arrived here. Matt has just arrived on Wednesday and said, "No, I need a week off from tomorrow." So look, that's how it works. But anyway, look, you know how this show works. This is brought to you by Colossus Bets. Go to colossusbets.com. Use LFCDT as your sign-up referral code. Look us up in there and join our syndicates. Our syndicate for these set of games are actually live at the moment. The link is in the description to this show as well. So if you want to get on there, join in the syndicate. We're having a bit of crack with it. We've been really close with some of them as well, which is starting to annoy me. But one of these days we'll hit the big time. Joe, how are you, my man? Because I'm a little bit afraid to ask, I'm going to be honest.
Just about recovered, mate, if I'm honest. It was rough, wasn't it? Rough going. Yeah, we've got to take our beatings and move on. We've got two huge games now. We've got Burnley and West Brom in that order. So they're the games that we need to be winning. Yeah, just I'd rather not really.
Joe, is it time to triple captain Bamford? The next 2 games.
Yeah.
Come on.
And you know, I'm concerned about that Allardyce one. I'm concerned about that West Brom one.
Oh yeah.
And Burnley set pieces, man. We can't defend set pieces to save our life, man. And obviously, Burnley and West Brom are just going to pepper us from that perspective. But we'll have to wait and see, man. My confidence has just waned. You know what I mean? We'll probably play Burnley, we'll score a couple, and I'll be bouncing again.
Of course you will.
You know?
Of course you will. If Burnley attempt to ruin my friend Joe's Christmas, there's going to be an issue. Right, but lads, we have got 6 games we're going to look at in some sort of detail. We've got 4 that we're going to look for quick predictions. And of course, as I said, our syndicate is live, so I'll give you a rundown of what we've predicted as well. The first one I'm going to start with is Wolves v Spurs. Wolves are going through a bit of a tricky patch at the moment. Spurs, of course, got beaten at Anfield middle of last week, and then were beaten at home as well by Leicester, and so they're 2 on the bounce. But Matt or Grizz, I'll come to you. Sorry, we go into this one. Yeah, we go into this one, and
go on, hit me. I've got some Spurs news for you.
Okay, Spurs news to come.
I'm joking.
Spurs news to come. Grizz, we look at this one like Wolves. You know, they are a bit patchy at the moment, and you look at Spurs. Is this a good game for Spurs to go away to Wolves, where they can? You know, Wolves will come onto them and they can try hit them on the break and get that confidence back. Because I have a feeling that if Spurs lose this one, I think their season could blow up. I
think this is destined to be one of those boringest games because Wolves don't like having the ball too much either. I mean, it's a, you know, it's not even a clash of styles. It's like a coming together of styles where sort of Spurs under Jose fucking hate the ball, and Wolves home and away play the same way. Counter-attacking football, and both are going through a bit of a rough patch. I mean, we've broken Spurs, haven't we? All right, they won today in the Rumbelows Cup or whatever it is, and but he's playing the strongest team available near enough in every game, and that's how desperate he is to get a trophy for Spurs. You know, we know Jose lives for trophies, whether it's the Charity Shield or whatever. So he's going to want to get that League Cup as a trophy in his second season. In the league, you know, that's sort of, is that 2 defeats and a draw in their last 3? Because Palace they drew, didn't they? And then we and Leicester beat them. And Wolves are rocking as well. Wolves got beaten by Burnley, you know, who haven't shown any form, but suddenly turned up and beat Wolves handy. So I don't think it's a game that's going to be sort of full of goals or one for the purists. You know, I think it's going to be a fucking boring game. It's probably one of those you try to avoid or put on Prime Amazon or something. You know, it's one of those ones that, you know, try to avoid. Spurs need a win if they got any sort of remote hopes or ambitions to be the threat, so to speak. But you know, I can see it. So I can see it petering out to a draw, to be honest.
Okay, we get your prediction now in a couple of minutes. Matt, you have got some Spurs news apparently. If you want to throw it at me, you can. But what I would say to you is, like, you know, when it comes to writing off teams, there's probably nobody better than you, because you say to you, what about, you go, nah, league is won. What do you make of Spurs? Do you think the season could blow up if they lose this one, or could, if they win it, they look into the Christmas period going, a couple of wins and you never know where it'll bring you, because they were forced last week. They're 5th or 6th now.
I don't think they're anything to win it, to worry about. They'll win the game, I reckon. They'll beat Wolves, no problem. 2-0, something like that. But the Spurs players are not enjoying the Jose style of football. I know that for a fact, from an inside fact. But Spurs coaching staff have said it.
He's trying to keep a straight face here.
It's true. It's full on true. Spurs players are not enjoying the type of football, and we all know not many players do enjoy that Mourinho football. As soon as they go on a lose, it's okay if you're winning. You kind of put it to one side and say, "Okay, I'm not enjoying it, but we're winning." As soon as they start getting a few losses under the belt, which they are now, then it starts getting a bit nasty. I can see Spurs blowing up before the season's over. I think they'll come maybe 4th, maybe 3rd, something like that, but they will not be pushing us. They'll still go on to beat Wolves because they've got a lot of quality inside. They've got Son and Kane are amazing strikers. They've got good midfield, so they'll go on to beat the teams like that. But they're not going to be sitting at the top of that league anywhere near us by the end of the season.
Okay, Joe. Before I get to you, David Lennon asks, any chance of an Alberti shout? Well, happy birthday, David. The only thing I will say is you sent me a picture earlier of some mad kind of notions field that Andy Young would eat, and I'm nearly going to take that happy birthday back just because of that photo. But no, happy birthday and have a great Christmas, my man. Joe, you look at Spurs and you look at Mourinho, and you know he tries something at Anfield and it doesn't work. He's getting away with it against Leicester until Aurier intervenes and gives away a penalty, and then they're flat second half for me. When you look at this Spurs side, and I don't agree with Grizz, I think Wolves do like to have the ball. I think this game might be actually made for Spurs.
I'm not so sure. I mean, when we played Wolves, I mean, all they did genuinely was just sit in and obviously hit it up to Jimenez at the top and then try catch us on the counter. But I do believe they switched up the style a little bit recently, haven't they? And I think gone with a 4-3-3. I think they'd gone with recently. Yeah. I'm not too sure with the young striker up top, the new lad they brought in the summer. But it's mad, isn't it, how quick things turn? Like you said, you know, Spurs were up there. They were never going to win a league title, were they? But they will win a trophy this season, like Grizz said. You know, I think that's why he's going all out in the Carling Cup. I've said many times, I think Mourinho will win something at Tottenham, but it ain't going to be the league. It's mad, like you said, they're now in 6th. Both sides really need a result. You know, they're both not in great form at the minute. So they both need a result. And yeah, I mean, for me, Tottenham, Mourinho's going to get them back to winning ways in the league, surely. I'm crapping myself up against that Tottenham side in a couple of games' time. Do you know what I mean? They're perfectly built for Leeds, man. It'll be another 6, I'm telling you. But no, I think Mourinho and Tottenham will win this one. They've got to, man. Okay.
Right, I'll stay with you, Jordan. Give us your prediction.
2-1. 2-1 Spurs.
Okay. Matt, you're going with 2-0 Spurs?
2-0, mate. Yeah.
And Grizz?
Adama Traore, goal ruled out, VAR.
Okay.
Apparently he's coming to Leeds. 90 minutes.
You don't want him, mate.
First
Too
half.
early. You don't want him.
No,
Jesus,
yeah.
can you imagine? I can't see him playing under a Bielsa. Can you imagine Bielsa trying to give him instructions and strict instructions to follow? He's a proper thickhead. He's not gonna. Bielsa loves clever players, smart players. No, it's
Even Bamford had a good relationship at Borough, though, man. I'm all about that. Get him in there. I would.
But you get my point. I'm sure you get my
But
point.
hold on. Is this a damage Traore we're speaking about?
Yeah. Apparently,
is this the fella that Wolves wanted 90 million quid for under something?
Yeah. But apparently,
They don't even play him.
Things change.
Things change. He's a myth.
Things change. What sort of money are you looking at now?
He hasn't scored or assisted in like 16 games or something stupid.
No, because as Andy Young says, he
Why do you still got him in your
runs
team,
down
then?
the wing and chips the ball into the box. You know, so he's not good. I'd love to see what sort of money they're talking about if he is linked with.
We won't pay anywhere near that if that's the sort of figures.
No.
Alone. Not a chance.
Yeah.
It's 90 minute that broke it though. It's first I've heard, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Dan J has 2-2. Grizz, what are you going for? Antoinette McConville has 1-1.
Yeah, I'm with Antoinette. I'm going 1-1. I'm going with 1-1 of this one. I'm going to triple captain Kane. So I'm hoping Kane's going to get me a goal, and I think Neto's going to score for them.
Okay.
For you
so you're going to triple captain someone you think's going to get you one goal. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. It's going to be. Hear me out.
Who were you calling a thickhead before?
It's going to be a low. It's going to be a low scoring week.
But listen, I'll let you know where Syndicate has picked 2-1. Two results we've gone with 2-1 to Wolves and 3-1 to Spurs. They're the two results that we have in the Syndicate this week. For me personally, I think it's going to be a tight game. I think Spurs just edge it. I think Spurs will just about edge it. Grizz, quick prediction from me: Villa v Palace.
Villa v Palace. 2-1 Palace.
Oh, okay. Ma.
2-2.
2-2, nice. Joe.
3-1 Villa.
3-1 Villa. Okay. In our syndicate there, we have got 2-1 to Villa, 3-1 to Palace, or a 2-2 or better draw. 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, wherever you want to be. Anything above 1-1. I think that'd be a good game as well. And another quick one, Matt. Fulham v Southampton. I think this is a hard one.
Southampton 2-0.
Oh, Grizz.
I'm going for a surprise there. 2-2.
2-2. Joe.
2-1 Southampton.
2-1 Southampton. In the syndicate this week, we have 2-1 Fulham, 1-1 and 2-0 to Southampton. So, I think that'd be an interesting game. Fulham are starting to show signs, and I just don't know about Southampton after an hour. They just seem to, their legs go. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe they just work so hard in the first hour of the game, but we'll have to wait and see. Sheffield United against Everton, lads, is the next one up. And who has the phone on? Is that Matt?
Grizz.
Do you know what it is? It's my laptop, right? My laptop does it all the time, but I don't know how to quiet it. If I mute it, it'll mute this.
And notifications on for OnlyFans. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
10.
I don't know if it's an app.
Honestly.
I don't know if it's an app you're using. Try close the app, maybe. But anyway, Joe. On to what I was saying, Sheffield United against Everton. Sheffield United got a point the other day at Brighton. Had a player sent off, I think, didn't he, as well? And you're looking at Everton, who had a great start to the season, a little bit of an iffy spell, come back strong again. Joe, we spoke about Sheffield United last week. We don't think they can survive 2 points through 13 games. Just doesn't cut it, and it'd want to be something exceptional to get out of this. But Can they give Everton a game at the weekend? I fancy Everton strongly in this one. See,
I come on here every week and I say, Sheffield United, they're going to turn it around. It's going to be a 1-0 win. They've got to win a game soon. I thought it had been last week, to be fair. And I did say, I've been talking them up, saying, if anyone, I've still got like a little thing there that tells me that Wilder might do something. You never know. I know it's never happened before, and I know the way short now. But what is it? 2 wins and they'll be back in. I don't know. I know they've got some big injuries. Look, Everton are in great form. I do think Sheffield United defend really well, though. They don't score many. I'm still going to back Sheffield United because I still think they're going to do it. They're going to get a win. And why not this weekend at home against Everton? Yeah. Wilder's going to do it, I think. I know it sounds crazy. Everyone won't buy into it, but I just think he'll do it.
Joe, it feels to me like you have some sort of you really like this fella and you really want him to do something. I'll let you just go and listen. I'm just going to keep predicting for them to win every week. And
no, do you know what it is? Obviously, there's the Yorkshire thing there. They're not really... When we play each other, I guess it's a rivalry, but it's more... I respect Sheffield United, and I like Chris Wilder. He managed my my hometown club as well of Halifax. He's a good... Leeds fans might not agree with me because he said some bad things about Leeds fans, but I think he's a good bloke, man. He's made his way all the way up from lower leagues. He's a Sheffield guy. He's, played, and I think he was ball boy there, managed, and that's what I mean. When people say they need to get shot, they won't sack him, Even if he takes them down with the lowest ever, they won't sack him because they'll just keep him there in Championship and they'll look to bring him straight back, and I think it's the right way to go. But yeah, they're gonna get a win at some point. Honestly, they will, and I'm gonna say... I'll say it every week. 1-0 Sheffield United this weekend.
Good stuff, Grizz. When you look at this game, and we've spoken about Everton for most of the season, when they can get when they get most of their best 11 on the pitch, they're fine. It's when you go beyond that and you have to bring in 3 or 4 that aren't their first 11. They really look to me like they struggle, and that happened over the last couple of weeks. But if they've any aspirations for top 4 or Europe or whatever it is, Grizz, they have to be going and winning these games against a side with 2 points through 13 games or whatever it is.
They have to, but I can't see it. I watched them tonight. And Man United were playing sort of... All right, Man United still got some good players even in their so-called second team, but they fucking pissed all over Everton. Everton, without Rodriguez, you just don't see where the creativity comes from. They so rely on Rodriguez or Seamus Coleman sort of to go down the right flank. He's basically their right winger near enough. I just don't, this is what, again, game's got the makings of an absolute boring, dull game again. Told you guys it's going to be a low-scoring weekend. That's why my triple captain's only going to get me 1 goal. So I think this has got the makings of a absolute dull game. And Sheffield United can't buy a goal, can they? Our ex-lad Brewster struggling there. He's not even getting regular game time.
He looked all right when he came on. I thought he changed the game. I thought he looked good when he came on.
He's having sort of little splurts here and there, but he's not. Brewster, we all said at the time, he'd suit a Brighton more, where Brighton create chances and then they've got that shit Malpai up front to miss them. If they had Brewster in those situations, taking those chances, he'd score far more goals. At Sheffield United, it's a total different way of playing, man. Your striker's got to be, running channels or holding it up, even though they play a 2. One holds the ball up, which is not really Brewster's forte, and the other one runs channels. What's his name? McGoldrick. McBurney's the hold up. McBurney's your hold up guy, and then so it's like McGold. So Brewster's all around, sort of little slide balls, little through balls, getting on the end of them, and they haven't got anyone to do that. They've got that Sander Burge who's decent, but he's he's not. Yeah, is he missing? Is he missing this game?
Was it not Sander Berg who was sent off? I think it was, Sander Berg last week.
So that weakens him even more, doesn't it? So the keepers, I don't know what they done when they brought in Ramsdale for Henderson, and they actually paid money for him. I think they paid back 28 million for Ramsdale.
18 million.
18 million. I beg your pardon. Yeah, just 10 million out.
Yeah,
but
same difference.
Same thing. But look, I think it's got the makings of an absolute stinker. Another game properly.
Jeez, you're full of this Christmas joy.
Well, it's going to be like that. Over Christmas. You get games like this. I'm a football man. I've been watching it for years and years.
Over Christmas, you get big, high-scoring games.
No. It's going to be different.
Berg was injured. Sorry, it was lunch. It was Lundstrom that was sent off.
Was sent off. Yeah. Still won't change the game though. It'll still be a boring game.
But both big losses then though for Sheffield United as well, aren't they? To be fair, so
what's that?
Sander Berg and Lundstrom, if they're both out this weekend, they're both big losses. To be fair,
yeah, exactly. But Richarlison came off today for Everton, so I don't know if he'll be fit for it.
Knocked out. Apparent concussion.
He's out, isn't he? He's going to be sidelined 2 weeks or whatever it is.
They don't win a game. They don't win a game when Richarlison's not playing. So Sheffield United, man, you never know.
Joe's getting excited for his 1-0 prediction now.
Yeah, he's all over it. He's opening another drink. Get another drink, Joe. Get another drink. We read out Sheffield as you take us up. We read out Everton's injury list. Matt, you love talking about the Ev, don't you? So, you know, there was a brilliant show last night. The midweek fix. It had Jamie, Paul, Keith, and Chris on it, and they were talking about all the different teams in the top 6 or 7, where they might come and stuff like that. And most of them had Everton in the top 6. But Matt, what do you make of this Everton side? Because I do think the first 11 is decent. I think it's something that could quite easily get a Europa League spot at the end of it, when there's usually about 5th, 6th, and 7th gets it. But have they got it in them to push top 4, do you think, or even get close? Is Europa League the best they can hope for?
It's hard to praise them because all the fans are knobheads. Like, they were a good team, good manager.
Yeah.
I think they'll be there or thereabouts, and they should be, rightly so. I mean, they got well ahead of themselves at the start of the season, which makes you want them to fail. But they're going to be about 5th or 4th. They'll be challenging for top 4, I think. This is where they should be, and that's where they will be. They've got a manager to do it, and they've got the players to do it. Injuries aside, obviously, if they get a few injuries to Rodriguez or Richarlison, a couple of key people, even Calvert-Lewin, who's key for them now, then they'll struggle, because you've got people like Sigurdsson on the bench, and the quality's just not there in the backup. So as long as they stay injury-free, I think they'll be there or thereabouts. Yeah. For this game, though, I agree with Joe. I really like Sheffield United. I like Wilder. I spent a lot of time on the Bramall Lane Cop. I was in university in the halls next door to Bramall Lane, so I'm happy to see them in the league, and I want them to do really well. But I don't think this is the game they turn it around. I think Everton do this one quite comfortably, 2-0. Don't waste too much energy. And they're doing quite well. But Sheffield United have been having a lot of good games. They've been close a lot of times. They're playing good football, and it's harsh. The results they've been getting, I think that they don't deserve to be bottom. And I hope Wilder gets the time to turn it around, because I think if they carry on like they are, their heads don't drop, and they keep pushing and playing the same way, they should be picking up a lot more points. I just don't think it'll be against Everton at the weekend.
I don't think Sheffield United survive, but I think you're right what you're saying. Even if they don't, even if this squad stays together and gives it their all to the end of the season, and it has been close enough games for most games that they've been in.
Yeah.
But I agree, they shouldn't sack Wilder, because I can't sit here last week and give out about West Brom sacking Bilic for fucking Sam Allardyce, and then turn around and go, Wilder has to go. I think you're right. Even as Joe said, even if they go down, Wilder stays, and he just knows everything about the club and how to do it, because he brought them up. So we're a bit of luck at those. But I fancy Everton strongly in this. Joe, give us a prediction.
1-0 Sheffield United. Yeah.
1-0 Sheffield United, just sticking with it. Okay.
Yeah.
We can't break Joe on this one. Grizz, what are you having on this one? Muted.
That's for the best. Let's just.
Nil. Guaranteed 0-0.
0-0. Definitely not happening. Matt, you're going
2-1. 2-1 Everton.
2-1. Okay. I have Everton down for a 3-1 win, and it is part of our syndicate this week. Also 1-1. Also 2-1 to Sheffield United. We've doubled our odds on that, and a 2-2 or 3-3 draw. So there's loads of opportunities there for us in that one. But you never know. I think Everton have to be winning these games if they have any sort of aspirations for the season. They really do. Next one up is Arsenal v Chelsea, and Matt, I'm going to come to you first. How because I haven't asked you this question. How did Mikel Arteta manage to score himself the Arsenal job, in your opinion?
Madness, and he managed to convince a lot of people that he was a good manager as well. The board just must be thinking, we're getting Pep light. We're going to get Pep Guardiola's training. We're going to get his tactics, and it's just going to filter into the club. And it's just not. It's not what Arsenal need right now. I've got an Arsenal mate who I speak to quite a lot, and when they got rid of Wenger, I was saying, you're in trouble here. You're entering the Hodgson years of Liverpool, and it's played out that way. What they need, because they took out Arsene Wenger, who was a player who like Ferguson, was someone who was the whole club. He was the scouting. He made every decision, and took him out. And There isn't any personalities around the world now. Even Jurgen Klopp doesn't want to be the man who decides everything. We're at a point of time in football where you needed a director of football, and a good one. You need a backroom staff you can trust. You need the scout network set up. Until Arsenal get that proper internal setup, their coaches will never be able to thrive. Now, Arteta could be a very good coach, but he hasn't got. I don't know. I don't know much about Arteta. I haven't seen his training games. All I know is the results have been fucking terrible. But the results will always be terrible until they get that right. And we saw it at Liverpool. Liverpool was the perfect example of it. Once Benitez went, we struggled until we got the proper setup, and we trusted the setup. We had a manager who trusted the setup, the manager who trusted Michael Edwards, who I love Michael Edwards, and now it's coming to fruition. You look at all the players we bought for hardly any money, and everything he's done is worked. You need someone to put their identity on the whole club, from the first team down to the youth. And Arsenal have not got that in Arteta, and Arteta's not a big enough manager or personality to put that in. Pep Guardiola might be on his own, but even he has a setup and he relies on people. So you've got someone as big and as strong as Pep Guardiola relying on this team, and Arsenal don't have it, and that's what they're going to miss. So it doesn't matter if you got Arteta or you got Diego Simeone or someone else in. Daniel Farke, as Grizz likes, you get any of these in, and they just won't succeed until you set the club up right, because you've gone from you've got a vacuum there and it hasn't been filled.
Well, can I ask you one more question before we move on, though?
No.
Go on, let us, please.
Okay.
I think you're right in what you're saying. You do need somebody to come in and look, not try replicate what Wenger done. Because it's hard. He revolutionises that club. It's 25 years ago now, but you do need to bring someone in with a massive personality that literally takes control and says, yeah, I will rely on A, B and C, but I am the main man at this club and I will shape the whole club. Is it a case of these owners don't want somebody like that? Because they could have went and done Ancelotti. They could have went and done anybody else, but they went from me on a vanity project with Mikel Arteta. And listen, no matter what you think he isn't the persona to come along and shape a football club, in my opinion. Is this down to the owners just going, we get him in, he won't kick up a fuss, and people love him because he used to play for Arsenal?
No, I don't think it is. All owners want to succeed. Arteta is their Brendan Rodgers, but we had Suarez at the time. That's where we're at. He's a very good coach. I bet you he's got good training sessions, and he's good. It's just not right at the moment, and that's where I'm up to. No owners want a yes man to come in and not be successful. They'd rather a non-yes man and be successful. As a fact, the more success, the more money they have in their pocket. So, no, I don't agree with that at all. I just think they've made a mistake, and they've made a lot of mistakes. And you look at FSG, and they made mistakes along the way, but they learned, and it doesn't look like Arsenal are learning. They may get another coach in, and another coach, and another coach. Yeah. Until they sort the actual the system out within the club, they're going to be in the same position.
Yeah, that's a fair point. They have made mistakes and they haven't learned, as opposed to FSG, who did, they did do Dalglish and they did do Rodgers, and then they looked and went, no, we just need to go big, and they did. A lot of people asking about, would Gerrard go for it? Would Benitez go for it? If you have any other questions like that, genuinely go back to the midweek fix show from last night, because the lads do discuss it in detail, and it's a really good conversation. So check that out. Grizz, just on Chelsea, a lot of people are backing Chelsea. They feel like they can have a real push at the title. You've seen them over the last couple of weeks, though, falter. They lose 2 games on the bounce, don't they? They lose away at Everton and away at Wolves late on. What do they need to do over this festive period, Grizz, to convince a lot of people that they actually are genuine contenders? Because they have got the squad depth, in my opinion.
Yeah, they just need to do the obvious and win games. It's that kind of period where performance literally don't matter. It seems with Chelsea very much like City. They need to play well to win games, if you know what I mean. Like they're not very good at sort of battling their way through and getting a result. They have got strength and depth. We muck about on our WhatsApp. Whoever wins is the threat. And but I generally see them sort of as strong contenders for like a top 4, definitely. Look, the title. This squad they've got hasn't got many of the remaining players that won the league, if any. I'm not sure if Azpilicueta is probably the only one. Maybe someone else in there if anyone else,
Marcus Alonso.
knows. Marcus Alonso, was he there?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. But yeah, on the whole, it hasn't got... Kante was definitely there, wasn't he? Kante's won it with Leicester. But and their manager definitely hasn't got sort of the experience of coaching a team that's going to actually win stuff or won stuff. So that's their sort of drawbacks. But quality-wise, in terms of squad depth, man, it is serious, and they should have, by all means, they should have a strong squad. They just spent 300 million on an already existing good squad. So, this one they've got a tremendous record against Arsenal as well. They usually always batter them, whatever the situation. Arsenal always Arsenal shit themselves against anyone these days, but especially against Chelsea, they've got an awful record against Chelsea, and I can't see that changing for the life of me, to be honest with you.
Okay, Joe, when you look at this one, what are you thinking? Because like somebody said there in the chat earlier, if Arsenal lose this, it could genuinely be 17th in the league at the end of this, festive games over the 26th and 27th.
Yeah,
he can't last much longer, can he, Joe?
No, this is the thing. I don't understand. Like, I asked Harry the other day on that. I mean, at which point do they say, yeah, look, we want it to work. I guess everyone wants it to work at Arsenal, but it just don't seem like it's going to. They can't continue to lose games the way they are. I don't think they're going to get relegated or anything like that, because they'll make a change before they even get close to that. I know they're still down there now, but as soon as someone decent comes in, they'll start picking up results. I think it runs deeper, like Matt said, and there's also some bad apples there at Arsenal, I think, as well. And the way
the rumor is today is that he's on the verge of the sack because a couple of senior players have gone to the board about. So that just stinks the place out.
Yeah, completely. Of course. And he's not handled certain situations in the best way, has he? Like the Ozil one and all that sort of stuff, and some of the other older players, and I've heard Arsenal fans not being happy about the captain selections when David Luiz is on the pitch and they're going with Rob Holding and all that sort of stuff, which might seem trivial, but when you've got players like Luiz and that, you can imagine they would cause kick up a bit of a stink. So I think there's obviously things running deeper there. I agree with Matt as well. Just when you were talking about Liverpool and how the setup, it's the same at Leeds. Radrazani tried a number of things and then brought in Bielsa, and they've got the director of football, and now it all works. And now we're back in the Premier League. So there's a lot in that as well. But Chelsea finally got over that hoodoo of being able to beat anyone that was in the top 10 as well, didn't they, against West Ham? Because I was clinging on to that as a Leeds United fan. I was thinking, they just can't beat anyone in the top half. So I'll dine out on that for as long as possible. But obviously they beat West Ham and look comfortable doing it. Arsenal are in such dire form. It will be interesting to see, because I've just had a look after Chelsea, which they will lose at the weekend for me. They've got Brighton and West Brom. So if they lose against Brighton, then he's got to go after that, surely, because they can't be then going...
He's away to Brighton, home to West Brom.
No, both away. Brighton and West Brom. Both away.
Because exactly. Brighton away is not easy, and West Brom will be 3 games into Sam Allardyce there, so we'll have them. He'll nearly have them set up as he wants them.
And Allardyce has come out today, and he's saying that they're in a relegation battle and all this sort of stuff. He's already stoked up the fire as Allardyce, and obviously Brighton game is on the 29th. So in 3 days' time, it's January. So if they lose Chelsea and Brighton, are they then going to go, right, we want to buy players in January? Is Arteta the man for that? Do they then push the button? It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, will. And listen, I think if you're any sort of player worth anything, you're not going fucking anywhere near Arsenal. You're just not. Who was the man? Peter Adam Wingy wouldn't even travel to Arsenal to try to get a transfer. That's how bad they are at the moment. But predictions, lads, because I think Grizz I'd err beside on Grizz's side here. Chelsea usually do turn up against Arsenal, and the biggest thing for me with Arteta is he just seems to look around a lot. Not even at the pitch, he seems to look down the line behind them to his bench as if, can someone help me here? And no one's helping him. But I don't know. I think I do fancy Chelsea. But Grizz, what's your prediction? And don't say fucking 0-0 because you want Harry.
No.
Goal of the weekend.
No. This is going to be one of the games where it's going to be a lot of goals. So I'm going 3-1 Chelsea. This one.
Okay. No worries. Matt, what you having?
2-0 Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea. And Joe?
The boys have nicked both my scores. I'll go 3-0 Chelsea.
Don't
3-0 Chelsea.
Okay, in our syndicate, this is part of our syndicate as well. We've gone for 3-1 Chelsea. We've gone for a 1-1 draw and a surprise 2-1 Arsenal win, covering all the bases. Naged Mohammed says Arsenal 1, Chelsea 4. 4-0 to Chelsea, says Olivier. And most of the scores coming in there, I think, are absolutely backing Chelsea to win. Kevin Sullivan has 4-1 Chelsea. I think if Chelsea score first early, I think Arsenal fall to pieces, and they might have a few injuries. They may still have suspensions as well because they keep getting fellas sent off. But it's bleak. It's bleak for Arsenal. And when you tell me that the next two are Brighton and West Brom both away, that's death nail stuff. Like that's.
I think Arteta gets the sack after this game. I really do.
I think you might be right if they lose.
Yeah. I think they do. I think they announce his Gonski after they get beat by Chelsea.
Avi has donated via super chat $3.99. He hasn't even said that, and he's just throwing it in there.
He's a legend.
We get that a bit where people just throw a pound in and just say nothing. Say something for your money.
Just on that, someone mentioned Stevie G as well earlier. Yeah. I know Leeds United and the powers that be are very, very interested in Stevie G.
Very interesting. A beautiful setup, I think. We were talking about this actually. Leeds United is one of the clubs who don't hate Gerrard because he hasn't really done much against them. So he's one of the ones he can go to, and the fans won't really give too much.
The only thing is, I can't see Steven Gerrard taking a top flight job in England unless Liverpool. And I think he
can if Liverpool isn't like
a direct rival.
No, not like that. Gerrard, he wants to progress as quick as possible, and he can't wait for Liverpool. So Klopp is here for another 4 years. Gerrard will 100% take a Premiership job, a good one if it came available. Newcastle, Leeds, something like that. I can't see him go Arsenal, but he can't wait. He can't sit back and wait. Just like when he went to LA Galaxy, because we told him that we wanted to make him a reserve. Like, he loves Liverpool, but Steven Gerrard's career is more important, and that's what he's thinking about.
Yeah, it looks like City have got United in the semi-final of that League Cup. So, of course, Brentford play Spurs. I'm not too sure if someone can tell me what way that's come out, because it's only a one-legged affair. Is it drawn at home, or is it just a neutral venue?
No, it's drawn at home. So whoever's drawn first is home.
It looks like City have been drawn at home to Manchester.
and Spurs Brentford.
Spurs are home to Brentford. Okay. Like somebody said,
Steve, that's not Bielsa out, by the way. I just want to clarify that. Someone said,
yeah, no, but look, that's forward planning. That's what that is.
Joe's played for a plane to go over Ellen Road with Bielsa out.
Yeah.
No, don't say that. No. I love the man.
Yeah. Stevie G in. Lots of love, Joe. XXX off the back of a helicopter. But the thing is, like someone says there, is it Muhit Malik says Gerrard won't be at Rangers until 2024. I agree with you. I think Gerrard's path, if he wants to be Liverpool manager, and he does, and like as somebody said on the show last night, Klopp and Gerrard's contract end on the exact same day in 2024. If Liverpool are looking and saying, and they want Gerrard, they're going to be talking to him saying, "Listen, this is your job in 2024, but here are the rules around it." I think he goes somewhere like a Germany, a France, and Italy, a Spain, somewhere like that for probably a season or two before he goes to Liverpool to get that experience. I know I get the Leeds thing, but he needs to be playing European.
He can't speak German.
It doesn't matter. He can't speak Scottish either, but he's up there, But yeah, exactly. I think it suits him better to go away to Europe in a Champions League side and learn and progress a bit more for 2 years.
Bielsa will have made it a Champions League side.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, he won't after last weekend, Joe. I hate to say it to you.
I think that's too much of a risk. English managers don't generally do well abroad anymore.
Yeah, I can't see Gerrard going abroad either. Yeah,
but lads, I'm sorry.
Much of a knock. I think he takes over a very good Championship team and tries to get them promoted, or he takes up a Leeds or
middle to
Newcastle.
lower class, middle to lower.
I disagree. I disagree. I think if he's done that well in Europe with Rangers this season, and not too bad last season, and if he stops Celtic from doing 10 in a row up in Scotland, he's a fucking messiah at Rangers. He's not turning around for nothing in the Championship. Oh, sorry, he's not, because he was linked with Derby County before he went and got the Rangers job, and there's no way he's going from Rangers and turning around and coming back to England in the Championship. He's just not. He needs to look and say to himself, I'm managing Rangers, I've stopped Celtic doing 10 in a row, I've gone really well in the Europa League, he'll have a go at the Champions League next season. His next step is to be involved at a club that have significant funds, are literally set up like Liverpool. I don't know. I think someone in the top 4 or 5 in Germany would be really, really good for him. Really good for him. I don't know. Well, timing isn't great, but I would
He only
think,
knows Leipzig. Just say Leipzig. It's gone
no, I
Leipzig.
wouldn't say Leipzig. I think if in a year's time, what happened at Borussia Dortmund happens now. What's happening now happens in a year's time. I think you should be all over it.
Borussia Dortmund Borussia Dortmund's too clever to take on a risk of Gerrard, because Gerrard is he is a risk. He's doing dead well, like I'm made up. He's doing amazing in Scotland, but he's a risk. Do you know what I mean? Scotland's a different kettle of fish. You've got 2 teams there, and that's it. He's got a lot of money to spend, but he's doing well. But for Dortmund, I think they're too clever to take him.
Yeah,
Nah, they're not too clever anymore.
Honestly, watch this space. I think he could rock up at Leeds. I genuinely could.
He could do. He's
Well, the
definitely
thing
not
is,
going to the Championship.
the thing with Leeds is Bielsa is a mad so and so, isn't he? He could just walk out at the end of the season.
But he's only on a rolling contract. He's only on a rolling.
But that's my point. But that's my point. He could say, I had so much fun in the Premier League. I brought you guys up. We've had fun. We've stayed up. Go out. And he's a mad kind. He can do that kind of thing. And then that Gerrard 3 seasons or 3-4 seasons at Leeds could do him well, unless he got them relegated. Obviously, then fucking hell, Joe will be after him.
I still think
I'll be banned off this.
You know what I mean?
I still think he needs a club that is built a bit like Liverpool and have good resources. Are the Champions League?
Newcastle really built like Liverpool.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think Gerrard has too much about him to go work under Mike Ashley. I don't think he'd do it.
Yeah, that's a great shout.
But he's got in up in Scotland, it's a 2-horse race. I think he needs to make it a bit harder for himself in another country, but be in a Champions League, deal with bigger.
I see
players,
what you mean.
You know,
bigger
profile players. Yeah, bigger
Good
profile
point.
players, bigger profile club, bigger competitions as a stepping stone to go into Liverpool, because he is going to have to prove himself. I don't give a fuck if he's Steven Gerrard. If he doesn't prove himself as a manager, he won't be Liverpool manager. I still think if Pochettino makes the right decision about his future, I think he's a much better chance of taking the Liverpool job than Gerrard. But let's wait and see. Avi has thrown us more money in a super chat. He said something this time which is amazing. Gerrard at Dortmund could be the perfect transition. They've tried Tuchel, Favre. No harm in going for Gerrard. Gerrard under Ashley, not a chance. I don't know how we've got onto that. But listen, I enjoyed
It's a good shout, Gerrard under Ashley, though. That's a good shout. It's not the type of guy who stand for.
I think he'd tell him to go away fairly quickly, I'm being honest. I've lost where I am. But listen, quick predictions.
Happened when Matt's on.
It does, and listen, that's okay. I very rarely lose myself, but I'm happy to lose myself from Matt. Okay, City v Newcastle. Okay. Matt, quick prediction.
City, 3-1.
3-1. Okay, Grizz, City v Newcastle.
No, 3.
City versus who? Sorry,
Newcastle.
4-0.
4-0. Okay, Joe.
5-1.
Okay.
Big shout. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go 4-1 to City in this one. I think they'll run out easy winners. I think Newcastle are brutal.
Wait,
to be quite honest.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Just thought of it. Would Gerrard come in as, because this is something I would want, Gerrard come in as Klopp's number 2
for the season before taking over?
I would like him to. Yeah.
I think you have to. Then
I don't think
because
it's Liverpool. I don't think he's too proud to do that. I think that's
no. I think if he came in and it was made fairly clear that, you know, he's coming in for a year because he's taken over. Klopp announces, I'm leaving next year. Steven Gerrard's taken over, and he's coming in as be number 2. You're absolutely fine. But I'd wonder where Pep Linders stands in all this, because from what I've heard, he's fairly pivotal about what goes on, and I think he understands Liverpool.
I think Pep stays. I think when Klopp goes, Pep stays. He's young enough. He's clever enough. He's smart enough. He's
but
so
you can
highly
have
focused.
two number twos. So
Oh no,
being-
I'm not saying I don't know if I don't disagree with Gerrard not coming in. I just think Pep will eventually stay as
Yeah.
Gerrard's number 2.
The owners
So
like Pep.
the old boot room, the old just settling in period with the man who's been there for Pep will have been there for 8 years.
If you can get Gerrard in as alongside Pep, and then Klopp goes after a year, and Pep stays as the first team coach, and Gerrard takes over, it's a very
great shout.
lovely transition.
Great shout. Won't happen, but great shout. Go on, Gav.
Okay. Very touchy between Grizz and Matt at the moment. Apologies to our viewers. Another quick prediction before we move on to a couple more games. West Ham v Brighton. Joe, I'm going to let you go first because these fuckers keep robbing your predictions. So go first.
2-0 West Ham. Easy.
Oh shit, man! I was gonna say that.
Grizz has this down as -1 to -1 because that's the amount of goals in the league. Grizz, what are you having?
Another 0-0. Awful game.
Okay.
Another 0-0.
No worries, and Matt.
Who's playing?
West Ham v Brighton.
2-0 West Ham. Me and Joe are mates tonight.
No worries. We in the syndicate we've gone for 2-1 to West Ham or 2-1 to Brighton. So there you go. So Shawar Hussein says, I've tried to join your syndicate but can't seem to find you guys. Please help. Go to colossusbets.com, sign up, takes 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, search for the LFC Daytrippers. You will see us there. You can follow us there and you can see our syndicate that is live. It's very, very simple. If you go to @ColossusBets on Twitter, they will explain everything to you as well. So, and of course, if you are signed up, go into the description of this video and click the link for the live syndicate and you will find us there, no problem. Okay, let me see what's next. Oh, nice. Leicester v Manchester United. Grizz, I'm going to come to you first. Leicester win away at Spurs last week. They haven't drawn a game, I don't think, this season. And a lot of people are talking them up. On the show last night, nobody had them in the top 6 at the end of the season for some reason. I think that's a bit strange. What way does this one go? Because I think, I'm going to be honest, Grizz, I'll hold my hands up. I think United win this one because I think they will try lure Brendan Rodgers into playing football against him and hit them on the break and he'll fall for it.
This is going to be a good game, I think. This is going to be a good game because, Rodgers only knows one way to play and that's with the ball. And then United love that. So I think it's a good clash of styles. I think there's going to be a crack. I think that the situation with Vardy is very crucial in terms of if he's playing, then that gives Leicester far better chance than if he's not, because he's so good. He's aging, isn't he? He's aging so well. The older he gets, the better he seems to get. He's an absolute underrated goal scorer for me. Very underrated. I think, but I think Man United will win this. I think Man United in a good sort of mode. They've been getting very good, especially away from home. I know they've gone away behind in quite a few games, but they found this method of playing away from home, which suits them far better than when they play at home. And I think, as you said, this is one of those games where they could sort of lure Leicester into sort of the way they want to play. And Leicester, under Rodgers, are fairly one-dimensional. That being said, they're playing very well. My thoughts on Rodgers. I think he's a decent coach. I think he's a good coach. But I think United are in a very good moment at the moment, and I think they'll sneak this.
Yeah, Vardy against Maguire. Tom Boland says Vardy to school. Maguire and get a hat-trick. Joe, I'm going to come to you because Leicester's home form is appalling. Manchester United's away form is perfect.
Have they lost away from home yet?
They've won 6 out of 6 away from home. United. Leicester have won 1 at home in 6, I think. But it's. I think it's a game that that's a game that whoever goes out and tries to win it will lose it. That's the only way in my head. I think that's the way it works because whoever actually goes and tries to take the initiative will be just stung on the break because that's what both teams do, Joe. What do you make of this?
Listen, we've been spanked by both sides, haven't we? You got 4 against Leicester, 6 against them last weekend.
give us some insight.
Well, yeah, exactly. We've only 3 goals scored. No, but listen, we created quite a lot against Manchester United, to be fair. I think at the back, I know we only scored 2 goals, but they were pretty shocking. And we scored from a set piece. We don't score from set pieces, man. We can't defend them or attack them. And I do, there was a few times where they were caught napping, but just the form that you've read out there to me, You know, Man United not losing away from home, Leicester gash at home. So it all points to a Man United win, as much as that pains me to say. Because normally what happens is, right, when you come up against the Bielsa side, you do crazy running numbers. It was the same in the Championship. It's same in the Premier League. You produce crazy running numbers like Chelsea did, and then you play your next game and you lose because you're done, right? And this, honestly, it was called the Bielsa curse. We used to call it in the Championship. So when you beat us, you'd go and lose. And obviously that happened with Chelsea, but I was hoping that was going to happen with Man United, and then they've won tonight, haven't they, against Everton? So it must I'm just clinging on to something, but no, I can't see past them. Can't see past Man United just based on that away form alone, man.
Avi does say good to see, in a super chat again from Avi. He says good to see Matty back, legend, and he gives Joe a thumbs up as well. Expect an incoming DM from Grizz asking why he wasn't mentioned in that.
I've just done it. I've just sent it.
Yeah, absolutely. UK Beat says, hey lads, Grizz, this is for Grizz. Craig on Anfield Agenda was speaking nicely about you on a stream. Could you collab with him sometime? That would be nice to see.
Oh, that's nice of Craig from Anfield Agenda. Me and Craig go back a few years, so that's very nice of him.
What's the story? Are you collabing or what?
You know me. I'm a phone call, email, text, DM away.
What's your email address?
Cool.
Yeah, you know my email address. all the usual avenues.
Business inquiries too. It's in his Twitter. It was one of the best things ever when he done that on Twitter on his bio. It was absolutely fantastic.
Email at Gmail account on Twitter.
We got a good 12 hours out of that. We did on the WhatsApp group.
Listen, you can't say it's not worked.
You can't say it's not worked. That's true.
You can't say it's not worked.
The only thing is, and listen, the content you get out of Grizz is the best. We're reminiscing a little bit, just to go off on a tangent here, but we're reminiscing a bit in the WhatsApp group about the best times we've had in the WhatsApp group. And let me just say, right, none of it is repeatable because it's an absolute asylum that we're in. But one of the best days we ever had was when Grizz made the statement about Love Island on Twitter. It was absolutely fantastic, and Matt will back me up on that. It was one of the best days I've ever had, A, on Twitter, or B, in a WhatsApp group, when Grizz made a passionate statement with regards to the state of Love Island. It was
Grizz is one of my favourite human beings. He's completely fucking bonkers.
So there you go. But listen, with regards to UK Beats question, God only knows me. Listen, leave it at that. Grizz, please unblock me at Grizz Fan Club. This goes on every show now. Literally, I'm literally considering hiring a secretary to just take down notes of people that want to be unblocked by Grizz. But Grizz's new motto on this is: listen, it's your last chance. Don't act the bollocks. All right. So we'll see. Let me.
I reckon if I create a new account, Grizz would automatically have me blocked.
Yeah,
straight away.
He would.
Straight away.
If anyone's got an account, if anyone has
a Twitter account, yeah.
If anyone's got any black accounts or spare accounts, email me.
Send it over.
Don't send it to Matt, because as soon as it lands in Dubai, that account will be blocked. Avi says, and thanks for the super chat. Avi, put the money away. Will you stop it? Grizz and Gav, aka Jekyll and Hyde. There you go. Top lads. Thanks a million. Let me see. But look, if you want to be unblocked by Grizz, I'll keep reading about. I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'll read.
Now let me know. No, seriously. Yeah, if you want to get unblocked, this is the place to subscribe to the channel, watch our shows, click the fucking like button, and ask me to unblock you, and I'll do it.
Yeah,
it's a big house.
Okay. Anto G123 says Grizz is having Dave Hendrick on next week. Jesus, it's all going off. We really must be Christmas.
He can fuck off. He can fuck off. Forget him. What a fucking knob him. Forget him.
Anyway,
I know when you wonder where Grizz's pressure point is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
What we look? I forgot all about the football prediction. Oh no, I wanted to ask you because, as I said to you earlier about Everton and where can they go. What do you make of this Manchester United side? Because I think they're just set up to take some pressure, sit deep, so they don't expose their back four, and they have got really good players going forward. Matt, can they maintain this till the end of the season?
Yeah, they'll be top four, no doubt about it. They've got who's eating. Right, anyway,
that's definitely Jurgen.
They've got good strikers, good midfield, good players, slapheads and absolute shite, and a terrible manager. So they will be there or thereabouts, but they will not challenge. Not at all. You can't challenge with such a bad manager. It just doesn't happen. They're all right. They'll get wins against. I mean, we're talking about them now. They've been on a run, but you look at the teams they've played in the last 5-6 weeks, and they haven't really played anyone good. They dragged out a draw against Man City, and Man City aren't exactly on form at the moment, but they third or fourth, I reckon, this season.
Okay, how much? So give us your prediction for this game.
I think Leicester do it. I think Leicester maybe like a 3-1.
Okay, cool.
Vardy, absolute schools, slap it.
Grizz?
I'm going Man United 2-0.
Okay, Joe?
3-1 them. 3-1 to that team across the Pennines, Man United.
No worries. I fully understand what's happening with you there, Joe. I'm going to go 3-2 to Manchester United. I really am. Wicked Juices go Leicester. Listen, I think most people in this chat are happy enough for Leicester to win that at the weekend, despite them being really close at the top of the table. But I think United do them 3-2. That's my opinion on it. Let me see. Game 5. Here we go. Joe, cheer up the fuck. Leeds v Burnley. Now, Burnley have been a little bit better over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And if you wanted a game a couple of weeks ago, Burnley was the one to do it because they looked tired, out of ideas. You know, what was going on between Dyche and the board. They've picked it up a little bit in recent weeks, but Joe, it's a home game against Burnley at the end of the day, you know, and it's probably one of those where you don't want to lose and get dragged in a bit more, do you?
No, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, we were worried prior to prior to the Man United game, we had to win the Newcastle one, because then if we lose at Man United, we've then got West Brom and Burnley, and it's like, oh, we're getting dragged into a dogfight. But look, the only thing that I'm concerned about from Burnley's perspective, obviously, is the set pieces. That is it. They have Chris Wood as well.
Bad?
Oh mate, yeah, we're the worst. We're the worst in the division. Like, there was a stat before after the Chelsea game in terms of duels in the air from set pieces. Leeds United were at a rate of 50%, and the closest team to us was Crystal Palace on 27%. So that's like a huge, you know, for when ball.
Did you do man marking or
yeah, man marking, yeah.
I've got this big thing about British pundits hating zonal marking for no reason whatsoever. And whenever you look at the stats, zonal marking's always better.
Yeah.
Always better. But they've just got this thing about where if you don't mark a man, then you're not marking anything really. So I was just interested.
Yeah, no, it is a man marking, but like our team is tiny as well, you know, in comparison. So
the smallest Gav.
Smallest Gav.
Right, yeah, it's always go. Nah, but we honestly we are we're shocking.
That's Carl.
Pieces. So yeah, it's bad. And obviously Chris Wood plays for them. Used to play for Leeds. Young Charlie Taylor at left back as well. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But
interesting you talk about your aerial duels one, because Ben White was with you guys, wasn't he, last season? And we scouted him a lot. And one of his weaknesses that our scouts found in his game was his success rate in the air. So that kind of ties in with what you're saying. Like, apparently he's brilliant at everything else, and everything else he top scored. But aerial duels one, he was very, very poor.
Yeah, it was actually a viewer on this show, Dylan O'Rourke, who continuously went on about this, saying, "Listen, he doesn't even win 60% of balls in the air as a centre back." Was that something you noticed? Is that something that's continued on?
Yeah, I mean, look, we were never exposed as much in the Championship.
Yeah, that's true.
Not only just due to the plays, but the delivery. The delivery in the Premier League is absolutely unreal. Like, when we came up against Chelsea, Mason Mount's delivery on that night was amazing. And then you've got Giroud, Zuma in there up against our small players. We only won one header that game, and that was Patrick Bamford on the front post or in that area. You know, we do like... But honestly, from set pieces, we are woeful. You know, we conceded against Lindelof, for example, goal. West Ham, we were winning the game 2 set pieces. You know, that honestly, we're terrible. So Leeds United need to go through a game having conceded a number of set pieces, but also defended them, because it's in a mental thing now. Because even Click after the West Ham game said, we knew that if they get set pieces, that they were going to score. Like, you can't be going into that game with them with that mentality, because then as soon as a set piece is given, you're all like, oh shit, you know. Because the frustrating thing is, we were saying it the other night, is like Ayling was winning headers against Haller. Cooper's winning headers. Anywhere outside of the 18-yard box, they're winning headers. But then as soon as it's a corner or a set piece, they just fall into bits. And, you know, players are getting a free run. And if you're going to give set pieces against Burnley and West Brom, like Sam Allardyce will go, right, you get up high up the pitch, you win your set piece, let's bomb it in there, Kyle Bartley, etc. There's a few ex-players that are coming up against it that are great in the air as well, so it's going to be difficult. But if we don't concede set pieces, we create chances like we normally do, and Bamford's is being clinical, then we should be all right, man, in these two. And I think I'm hopeful that we can pick up 6 points, man, and then we'll be sound going into Tottenham.
Grizz, I'm gonna ask you, because I ask this to Joe all the time, and he just refuses to change. He's like Marco Bielsa's fucking long lost child. Do Leeds need to change what way they're playing in order to pick up more points in this Premier League? Because I think they can change slightly, protect themselves more, and probably win more games. I don't think they have to be as brazen as it looks like, because this league's shit.
It's going to be very difficult for them to do that mid-season. He's got them in such a he's got them playing in such a style that it's pretty unique in the Premier League, and it's very difficult to change in mid-season. The mindset, the mentality, the everything about them. I don't think they need to change to stay in the league. I think they'll stay in the league. But as I predicted at the start of the season, and Joe gave me weird looks, but I said they'd only stay up. Just you know, it was going to be a close run thing, and I stick by that. They're far better than at least 4, 5, 6 other teams in the league, so therefore they will stay up. But to ask him to change his way of playing mid-season, no chance. This guy is absolutely, you know, obsessed with football, the way it should be played and the way he's got his team playing. And credit to him. Look, and I've said it before as well. Look, at the end of the day, you got to work out what Leeds want out of this season, and I think the majority would want survival. So, and you know, maybe a cup run, and the way they're playing, there's no way of them sort of going down, and there's no way they're going to win the league. So why not go out the way you're playing and enjoy yourselves? And look, they're going to have mad days. You're going to have mad days. They're always going to have mad days when they get fresh 5-6. It's the nature of the beast. They play so open that teams will pick them off. But fair play to them. I don't think they change, and I don't think they need to change, because they'll survive easily the way they're playing. They'll win more games. You know,
can I just jump in? Yeah, like there's a guy in the comment. Leeds not in the Championship now. Naive not to change. It's not naive, right? West Brom have just made a change, right? I brought in Sam Allardyce. How did they get on? They had an XG of 0.001. Leeds went to Old Trafford. Yes, we got spanked 6-2, but we created a lot of chances. It was only the other day we went and spanked Newcastle 5-2. Now,
no, but Joe, listen, there's certain games you can play for me, like in Newcastle, where you can impose yourself on teams. What I'm saying is, when you go away to Manchester United, or you're home to Leicester, who are really good at, counter-attacking side, I feel Leeds are just going out and just... Look, to me, Leeds feel like you're just playing Football Manager and just not changing fucking thing. Just keep pressing the go button until you get to the end of the season and you can buy players. They're not changing anything. What I'm saying is, if they can they not just adjust a little bit for the likes of Manchester United away, or a bigger side at home maybe, and they might get more out of it. That's all I'm asking. But they don't seem to change anything for me.
But for me, right, so let's have a look. Right, we were a couple of minutes away from getting a point against you guys. Mm-hmm. Rodrigo comes on. No, but Rodrigo comes on and gives a silly penalty. Yeah. We played Man City, took a point there, you know. I would much rather do that than see my team go against you guys, and I guess you as Liverpool fans as well would prefer it, and watch them stick 10, 11 men behind the ball, have really no attacks, because what you'll find is, right, against some of these top teams, Gav, we will beat them. over the season. You know, we will spring a few surprises. Then,
you most certainly should have beat City. You was by far the better team. And we're talking about one of the best possessions in Europe.
If we're in the ground, we win that game. You know,
I think Raji makes a great point. He says, and I'll put it up on the screen for you. He says the second season is the syndrome. They need to adapt the second season a little, at the very least. They did it in the Championship. 4 seasons they conceded a lot. Second season they hardly conceded. The progression will be adjusting yourself slightly and your game playing. So I admire what they're trying to do, but I've seen, and listen, they won't get caught the likes of the way that Norwich did, because Norwich come up and were so naive in what they done. They were trying to play out from the back and they just hadn't got the players to do it, and they were getting picked off week after week. All I'm saying is, when I look at this Leeds side, I'm thinking, if they just altered this a little bit, you know, it wouldn't be 2-0 up after 3 minutes. The game wouldn't be over. And yeah, then you can probably change to your style after 60, 65 and just shock people and go, what the fuck is going on here? And you could have come away with a win rather than a bashing. That's just the way I look
Do you
at
know
it.
what? I've been thinking about this myself, actually. Not the problem is, I mean, I love to see Joe not putting taking
No,
I love to see teams like Leeds do it because it's more fun. But you look back on history and teams that come up, generally, okay, they play good football in Championship and they take that into the Premiership. They don't get as many results, but still, it's nice to see and you still get some good results, and you will get good results, and 100% Leeds to stay up. There's no doubt.
No doubt.
But you look at teams who have done it in the past, and because you don't have the players, you've got good players, but you don't have the players. You look at Bournemouth, you look at Blackpool, you look at all the teams that have tried to do it in the past, and it never works. You need it's almost as if you need to be a little bit boring to solidify yourself to get the better players to then play the nice football, if you know what I mean.
Right. But in response to that, so I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to... Right. So I was listening to something the other day, actually. It was on The Athletic, and they put it... No. Right.
Sorry.
As teams come up, right, let's use Stoke, for example. Tony Pulis, right? And they were saying, right, so you can only buy big, bulky, rock-hard defenders. Like, the ceiling for them, like, you can't really be bringing better players. Our defence isn't great. We've come up through an attacking style, so you can make that better by continuous players being brought into the system, but you can't really improve on 2 big burly centre-backs, like a Burnley, for example, or like a Stoke. What Stoke did do, after staying in the division, said, right, let's switch it up. Let's try and bring in some better players. They brought in Mark Hughes. Where are they now? They're in the Championship. I just think with the manager we've got, the director of football, the whole lot, to be fair, I genuinely believe within a few seasons we'll be knocking on the door of Europe. There's only really Sheffield United that have had, in the last 10 seasons, have had more points than Leeds United at this stage. But I think what people are reading into is the spankings. But I get that. But as a Leeds United fan, you can ask any. You'll find it hard to find anyone that's not accepting it. It was against Man United, man. Let's not forget, and we cannot stand them. And we're still accepting of the fact. I think you can improve. The way you improve on our results is by better players. It's not the system. If for example, we have someone, so say, for example, take Patrick Bamford. Patrick Bamford's having the same shots on goal as the likes of Salah and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but half the numbers. It may be even less than half of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So if you improve him, when it's 2-0 and he has that opportunity on his right, it's 2-1. You know, I just think it's players that are needed in order to improve the results.
Yeah, I get that, mate. And I hear what you're saying, but I'm not talking about this season because you're still on your bounce on your promotion, and this season you will be safe. No issue about that. Yeah. And you get some spankings because that's what's happened because you play nice football and you haven't got the players to come up against a Man City, Man United to play that nice football. You will get a spanking, that's fine. Yeah. But with the Stoke thing, that's kind of proven my point. When a team tries to go to the nice football without the players, generally in the second, third, fourth season, that's when they start to go down. I'm not saying go to a completely boring way, but they do need to adapt a little bit just to ease off the gas.
Stoke came up with a rubbish style of football, then tried to switch it. We're already playing the mint football, so you improve on that with players rather than us going
to a Blackpool. I mean, I don't know how much money you've got. The only way to get through it, I think, is if you got lots of money like Everton and you just buy a load of people, or you adapt slightly and go less attacking. You can still stay attacking. Look at Leicester. Leicester are the perfect example. Look at
Burnley, right? Give you Burnley for example, right? They've come up, they solidified, right? What more can Burnley do now with that defect? Like what can they add to it? How can they change their style? Their best signing this season was like Dale Stevens. This was an example that was used. Whereas Leeds United can continue to progress by bringing in better players. Whereas Burnley, because they're set in their ways, they have this certain style. Who can they bring in to make that?
Yeah, it's a complete. I know where you're coming from with that. It's a complete revamp. But so what you're trying to say, Joe, is that this is our style. We'll win games, we'll lose games, we'll get bashed, we'll bash teams and we take it as it comes. But what you're saying is, if you add to, if you take 3 or 4 players out of that side and put 3 or 4 in that are better quality, that are able to play that system better, you will get better results.
If you set up the back of house set up that you say you have. I don't know much about the Leeds setup, so you're coming from a much better position than me to tell me. But if you've got that setup where you can identify a better player without spending too much, you're going to be okay. I'm just saying, not many teams.
Look at Rafinha cost 17 million. Boom, come in. He looks special.
Yeah. There's not many examples of teams coming up playing that style of football who have lasted very long. Whereas you look at Burnley and they've lasted a long time. Even though I don't agree with it, I don't like it.
Where are they now? Like you hang around there long enough,
they've just become stagnant now. And then
do you know what I mean?
I think, and you know something.
I'm just saying, teams that play the boring football tend to last longer than the nice football. But if you've got that set up, then you could be right. You could improve year on year, and it could be fine.
Yeah, I think. And listen, it could be a case of, they stick to this style over the next, year, 2 years, and they do bring in better quality to their squad, and the quality goes up, and the yard to get, and the amount of wins goes up, and the amount of bashings goes down. But I still think at some stage Leeds will have to add that to the, add something to their ball where they can say we can come out and sit back. Because if you watch, and even like, I know comparing Liverpool to Leeds at the moment is a bit mad, but one of the things that's said about Liverpool, how it's progressed in the last 5 years, is we can beat you loads of ways. And I think that's definitely something that any club that has aspirations for whatever it's trying to do has to be able to win in certain ways. Now, I'm not saying that Leeds will get to the level of Liverpool winning, leagues and European Cups and stuff like that, but that's something that Klopp has progressed over the last couple of years. And now, we can sit back against you. We can absolutely go for you. We can make it just a mad open game. We can do all sorts of stuff. And look, I'm a big fan of what Leeds do. Just watching them, I'm thinking, and probably you're right, Joe. You add more quality, and the positives outweigh the negatives in a massive way as the quality improves. But I still think at some stage they're going to say, well, lads, listen, there is 6 to 10 games this season, or 6 to 8 games this season where we're going to just be a little bit more pragmatic, and we have the squad there. And instead of getting bashed 6 times this season, we'll probably get bashed 3, but we'll take points in the other 4 or 5. That's all I'm trying to say. But listen, there's a lot of support for you in the chat there, Joe. And that's why we have you on, because people love you. So David Snutch says, big shout out to Gavin, the rest of the LFC Daytrippers. Carry on the good work. It's very entertaining and funny. You'll never walk alone forever. Thanks a million, David. Nice comment. Right, let me get some predictions though before we go on. Grizz, Leeds v Burnley.
I was going to go 2-0, but after listening to Joe's analysis of the way they defend set pieces, I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Joe was so passionate there, and I'm going to go 4-0.
Yeah, I know.
No, set pieces, honestly, Burnley will score from.
I never say the obvious.
If they get one, they will score. Trust me.
Matt, what are you having on this?
I'll have 3-1 Leeds.
Okay, I'll have 2-1 Leeds. Joe?
Yeah, 2-1. I think it's going to be tight.
Okay, 2-1. Cool. Last game, Liverpool v West Brom. Sam Allardyce arrives on a massive boat of gravy down the Mersey. And he arrives in, he got dispatched in his first game at home to Aston Villa by 3-0. Grizz, Liverpool are hitting a little bit of a nice little rhythm, I think. You know, there's talk of Jota ahead of schedule coming back. Thiago's back in full training. Van Dijk is kicking footballs miraculously. And, you know, we go into this one and people are a bit worried. Oh, Allardyce turns up. He's the last manager to win at Anfield when he was there with Palace 3 years ago, wherever it was now. Grizz, we just bashed this. I'm not even going into mad analysis. We just bashed these, Grizz.
Yeah, the feel-good vibes are slowly coming back, aren't they? Especially in terms of injuries and players coming back. So brilliant to see. Having what?
Feel-good vibes. We've just won the league.
Yeah, I know, but
about all season. There's only doubters like you that.
Look, unless you've been missing for like last year, 6 months, like you have, right? You know that we've had a lot of injuries and the vibes have been sort of COVID and COVID. I know, but I'm not talking about that, am I? Fucking Joe, you know, pardon us. He goes off on one when I speak. Listen, shut up and listen. What I'm saying is I'm talking about the vibes, right? So vibes doesn't mean necessarily on the pitch. It means around the club. So what I meant was the positive vibes are back with the players coming back. Now tell me why I said factually incorrect there. Well, Nothing. Shut up.
We've been top of the league or thereabouts the whole time.
We've just hit top 2 weeks a week ago. Before that,
the top of the Champions League group. We've gone through early.
Before that, we were teams. Before that, we were like level on top and like the likes of Spurs and Chelsea, and it's not positive for us because these teams
are. Don't feel good about going through the Champions League top and being joint top of the league. Then
so back to my original point, the vibes, the feel good vibes. I said not the positive. The feel good vibes are back, especially with the returning players being seen on the training ground. So happy. Fat Sam's he's a proper dinosaur of a manager, and he hates us with a passion. Absolute hates us with a passion. So he's going to try his absolute best to try to disrupt any sort of good vibes and good feelings that we have. I don't think he's got the team. I don't think he's had enough time to implement his style or his tactics on us. And Gav, we should wipe the floor with them. I really hope we do. Fully fit squad, a revved up Salah, a motivated Mane, and a back to sparkling best Bobby Firmino. I'm expecting a Liverpool win. I'm not going to muck about like I usually do and say there's a threat, but I am expecting a Liverpool win and a handy one at that.
Okay, Joe. You had the audacity last week to question Liverpool's away form, and then Liverpool went and had a slender 7-0 win away at Crystal Palace. And with a bit of luck, you're going to tell us that West Brom are going to get something here on the 27th as well. Because literally, our Twitter account lit up after this already. Like, Joe was spot on, wasn't he? But Joe, like, I am going to write off West Brom. I am, because I just think, they have put a decent performance in a way, as someone said there at Manchester United.
They're under Bilic, though. They're under Bilic. The guy should have never lost his job. The time for dinosaur managers like Sam Allardyce, etc., is gone. He's coming. I know he didn't have long to work with them, but they got spanked by Villa 3-0. Now, I know he only had a couple of days, but you would imagine that he'd be able to set them up better defensively to not then go get spanked 3-0. I dare say they wouldn't have got spanked, with Bilic in charge. They'd just come off a good result against City. So them results against City and Man United are under Bilic, totally different manager. He's just going to try to stink the place out. I'll never doubt Liverpool. I doubted Liverpool against Leicester on here, and they went out and spanked them. Wolves dispatched. And I was trying to find ways to find chinks in the armour. And I sat here and went, oh, you're not done great away. And then you went and won 7-0. So I was like, right, that's it. I think you'll hammer these. And I hope you do, because, the way they dealt with Bilic is bang out of order, because I think he's a top. I don't know him personally, but I think he's a top guy, and I think he knows his stuff. And I think he should have been given at least a chance to do it. They aren't doing that bad. And I just think the time for these sort of managers is done. Tony Pulis came in at Chef Wednesday. I know this is in the Championship. No one really cares. But he's had a similar sort of impact there. They aren't getting results So I just think it's dinosaur stuff. It's no longer any good at this level of football. And I think you will spank them. 3-4, the gash.
I just think it's one of those where he might come out and try to disrupt us, but Liverpool are just rise above this stuff, and the quality we have, and the fact that we've had a week off, and players are a little bit more fresh. You have got Kate coming back, who did come back last weekend. There's loads there to say that they'll come in and stuff like that. Matt, I don't know what's wrong with Matt, but Matt, I want
fucking captured stuff. That's what's up.
All right, okay. All right, no problem. He's obviously pissed off with Joe's prediction that Liverpool would draw last weekend as well.
Matt has that picture on pussy.
Well, look, it's a big pussy jumping around Matt's kitchen. Lovely.
Nothing.
Nothing new. Matt, a lot of people in the chat are asking how many changes would you make from Crystal Palace? What way would you go? So I want you to pick the Liverpool side for the 27th place. Go on.
Yeah, I wouldn't make many changes at all. We've had a lot of time off. What was it? 8 days? Did we have 7 days?
8 days.
8 days. They all had Monday, Tuesday off as well, so they've all had a bit of time with the family. I think everyone's fitting round to go. So you are Alisson, Trent, Matip, Fabinho, Robbo, Hendo, Gini, Keita, Mane, Bobby, and Salah.
Okay, you have Keita in ahead of Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Predictions on this one
against Fat Sam. I don't want Curtis Jones to be lumped all over the place, which he will try.
Well, you probably don't want Keita lumped all over the place either, and but look, it's just the way it goes.
Forget it. I don't want to start another argument.
Okay, what are we going to say?
He's talking about Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones has proved to be an absolute.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm not saying. Look.
It's one of the.
This is another.
Let's not play Curtis Jones in case he gets bullied.
Because I pick one thing doesn't mean I don't like the other. I love Curtis Jones as well. He can also slip in for Keita, and I'll be absolutely made up of it. No issue at all. Either of them two. And I don't care. At the moment, I'm a Keita fan anyway, so he played last game. He played well, so let's keep him in. Let's go. I'm not saying that Curtis Jones is bad. I'm just saying that's what the team is.
No, that's fine. But I just didn't like your reasoning. In case West Brom
I didn't mean bully.
He's going to learn. He's been absolutely fantastic for us against teams that did look to bully him, and especially Spurs. Spurs looked to play proper dominate him, with the physical Sissoko and Højbjerg in there. Do you know what I mean? And he passed that test.
If THIAGO is ready to play, will you play him?
THIAGO, if he's ready to play, yes. Of course I'll play him if he's ready to play.
First game, you bring him on.
But he's not ready to play.
60th minute, something like
that. I could see him being on the bench. I could see him.
If he's on the bench, bring him on, get him some minutes, and then he starts next game. That's how you do it.
I could. Right, predictions. Grizz, go.
3-0.
Okay. Matt?
2-0.
Joe?
Jones for both of them.
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0 Liverpool.
Okay, I'm gonna go 4-1 Liverpool. I think I know what Joe was saying about it was around Bilic and stuff like that, but they do score away at Man City, and they have some decent players. I like the looks of that Gallagher that plays for them. I think he's on loan from Chelsea, but every time I've watched him, he's impressed me. So keep an eye out for him. Lads, before we go, 3 goal scorers for the weekend. What are you having? Grizz, give me 3 goal scorers for the weekend.
3 goal scorers: Bamford, Kane, and Salah.
Okay. Joe?
I've got Vardy, Sterling, and Bamford.
Okay. Matt?
Vardy, Mane, and Son.
Okay. I'm going to go Salah. Is Aguero fit? I think he is.
Might not start.
Aguero won't start now.
It's broken, isn't he?
He's not playing against Newcastle.
No.
Okay. I'll have Salah, Jesus, and I'll have that guy up front for Villa that keeps getting called offside.
Watkins.
Yeah, I'll have him. He's been unlucky, but I'll have him. So, lads, before we go, Grizz, are you looking forward to Christmas?
Yeah, of course, as always. Lovely time with the family. As I told you, look, business doesn't stop for me, unfortunately. It's one of the busiest times for the year. But Christmas Day, I'll have off. Christmas Eve will be busy at the shops. Christmas Day, I'll have off. And bit of food. I'll send you pictures.
Great, lovely. Can't wait for it. Matt, apart from getting pictures of Grizz's dinner on Christmas Day, what are you looking forward to most around Christmas? What are you doing?
Well, I've been away for a year now, so it's good back seeing everyone. I'll be having a load of drinks, just getting pissed.
Yeah, good.
In the family, enjoying myself.
Yeah, Matt is back in the UK, just getting pissed, and then he's going to go back to Dubai, and that's
and carry on getting pissed.
I don't think you can beat that for Christmas. To be perfectly honest with you, Joe, have a go though. What are you doing for Christmas?
No, nothing, mate. No, just kids and the missus, mate. I was finished my Christmas shopping today, and that was brutal, man. I hate it, man. Like, it was just so busy. And
what's your missus like?
Oh no, listen.
Just out of interest.
No, you can't ask him that.
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that.
Any pictures?
I'll do what Grizz and just send them. I'll send them you, mate. Christmas.
Pass them on.
So on Christmas Day, Matt is getting a picture of Grizz's dinner and a picture of Joe's missus. So I don't know where the fuck is this gone? Oh my god, Joe, you nearly got to the end of the show without Matt doing something like that. It's gone really well. Listen, he asks everybody that question when he comes on. He texts me a couple of times a week asking me what the story is with me missus. So it's absolutely fine. It's just normal for him. And if you just treat it like it's a normal question, his doctors say that's probably the best way to do it. But no, the missus, the kids, and stuff like that. Just the standard Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I can't believe he's asked him that.
How about you, Gav?
Me. Well, of course. What about you, Gav? Any pictures of your missus? Yeah, I could send if you want. It's no problem at all. But with regards to Christmas, what day is today? Wednesday. Tomorrow, nice and relaxed Christmas Eve. No shops. No fucking about. The only reason I'm going out is for cans.
You done it all today, didn't you? You done it all this morning, didn't you? You done your big shop this morning.
I done my big shop yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, got in there nice and early. Happy days. Went down the shops today. It was absolutely mental down there. So got what I needed. Got home, and as soon as I came in the door, I said to me missus, "I'm not going back out tomorrow. Don't care what you need. I'm not going out because it's crazy." And in the in-laws on Christmas Day, and then nothing really planned. Round the golf somewhere at some stage, but other than that, no, it's very standard. And of course, with the restrictions and COVID and stuff like that, it's even meeting family or extended family is becoming difficult. But that's just what you have to do until this thing pisses off, So, So look, it's our last show before Christmas, but it's not our last show of the year. We have got stuff on the 27th. Of course, the Fatback 4 will be back for the game. The reaction to the game against West Brom. We have got stuff then during the week. We are taking off tomorrow, Christmas Day, and the 26th, and then we're taking off, I think it's like the 29th, 30th, 31st, or the 30th, 31st and 1st, but we let you know as we go along. Matt, thanks a million for joining us. I can't believe you've asked Joe that at the end. I don't know, solicitor's letter in the post. Right. I don't know how it's going to go, but Matt, thanks a million for joining us.
Cheers, mate.
Good stuff. Great to have you back. And make sure that cat hasn't got fucking whiplash off the sliding door. It's just fucking hit at 100 miles an hour. Joe. All we can do is apologise for Matt's choice of question at the end. It's all right. But listen, if you do want to send pictures, send them to Matt. He forwards them all through WhatsApp anyway, so it's cool. But listen, Matt, or Joe, have a brilliant Christmas, and we'll talk to you very soon afterwards, all right? Grizz, have a great Christmas. Can't wait to see the pictures of the plate and stuff like that on Christmas Day. You're an absolute star. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Thank you for having me. Cheers, Matt. It's been a while. Enjoyed you. I didn't think I'm going to survive this, but
love you, Grizz.
I think it was the fourth tumbler of red wine that just tipped him over the edge there, and it was just unfortunate that Joe literally just said that.
No, honest to God, Gav, honest to God, I WhatsApped him at the start, and I said, I don't know how I'm going to survive this. Like, WhatsApped him privately, and he's done amazing, brilliant. Fucking hell, he's proper read up on all those teams in the last half an hour before the pod. He did, because he just
screenshotted the picture of the league table and went, I know who's in the league.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I thought I'm going to die on this pod with laughter, but he actually fucking Googled every single team. Yeah, I know you did. I know him very well.
But listen, That's it. We're going to head off. That has been the Friday forecast with Colossus Bets. Of course, go to the description. You will see the link for our syndicate if you want to join in. Bit of interest over the festive season while you're watching them, while you're sitting there eating turkey sandwiches on the 26th and 27th. That might be something to keep you involved. Listen, everybody that's watching, everyone that listens, everyone that supports us across social media, thanks a million. It's been a really good year. We will be back before the new year, but I just want to say to you all, have a very, very, very Merry Christmas, as Grizz would like me to say. Over and out.